Hello everyone, I hope you're having an amazing day. Today, we're going to follow Tu Tieu Uri, their little baby, and both grandmothers on a short family getaway. Watch as chaos, laughter, and heartwarming moments unfold during their first trip to the beach with the baby. From funny squabbles between the two moms to Uri's stories of startup struggles while caring for the baby, you won't want to miss a second of this adventure. If you enjoy this video, don't forget to hit subscribe so you won't miss any of our upcoming videos. After weeks of non-stop juggling, caring for their newborn, selling jackfruit in the mornings, and Uri chasing every milestone in his startup, the small family of Tu Tieu finally decided it was time for a short getaway. A moment to breathe, relax, and just be together. The trip was more than just a break. It was the baby's first journey away from their wooden home tucked deep in the bamboo forest. From the earliest hours of dawn, the house was alive with activity. Birds chirped outside, sunlight spilled across the bamboo stalks, and inside, Tu Tieu was already up, carefully folding tiny clothes into neatly packed bundles. Every time she finished folding a set of onesies or a little outfit, the baby would let out a small squeal, a protest or perhaps excitement, forcing her to drop everything and cradle him against her shoulder. The soft, warm weight of the baby in her arms was comforting, but also a constant interruption. Uri, meanwhile, was wandering the house, checking drawers, countertops, and even under the bed for his missing power bank. "It hasn't gone missing," he called out over the soft babbles of the baby. "It's just playing hide and seek with me." He laughed to himself, half exasperated, half amused, shifting from one room to another, making sure everything was packed and ready for the short trip. Ms. Lan, Tu Tieu's mother, leaned against the doorframe, a soft smile on her face as she gently rocked the baby in her arms. "You two are preparing like you're going to battle," she said in a teasing voice. Yet as she spoke, her hands were busy sneaking extra items into the family's travel bags. A few spare towels, medicated balm for minor aches, and even a portable hot water bottle. "You can never be too prepared when traveling," she said, her eyes twinkling with a mixture of pride and amusement. Uri's mother, calm on the surface, could not help but check in every few minutes. "Have you packed a warm sweater for the baby? The milk? The wet wipes?" she asked, her tone measured but persistent. Uri chuckled, shaking his head. "Mom, we're going on a vacation, not heading into a battlefield," he replied, trying to keep the mood light while juggling the small chaos around him. The first small complication appeared at the doorway. Both mothers had paused mid-packing, glancing at each other's luggage with subtle, critical looks. Uri's mother, folding her arms, said first, "Chi Lan is packing a lot. It's just 2 days after all." Ms. Lan replied lightly, "I'm packing for my grandchild. If you want to pack less, that's fine." "I'm packing just enough," Uri's mother countered. "Well, everyone has their own style," Ms. Lan said with a small shrug. Tu Tieu and Uri exchanged glances, both silently sighing. Though the mothers had their differences, the presence of the baby had begun to bridge the small gaps between them. Even minor disagreements had softened in tone, replaced by moments of laughter and shared attention to the little one. Finally, the car was packed and the engine started. The landscape opened up around them. Vibrant green fields stretched alongside the road, dotted with small farmhouses and swaying bamboo. The soft wind carried the scent of the earth, grass, and early morning dew drifting into the car through the slightly cracked windows. The baby, finally lulled by the familiar rhythm of the road and the warmth of the sun filtering through the glass, curled up in the arms of whichever grandmother held him at the moment. Uri glanced at the rearview mirror, catching a glimpse of both Ms. Lan and his mother, taking turns to hold and whisper to the baby. Their faces softened, eyes bright with affection, a quiet reverence for the tiny life that had brought them all together. To ease the gentle tension and entertain the family, Uri began recounting stories from his early startup days. He shared the embarrassing moments, showing up to investor meetings with milk stains on his shirt, balancing his laptop on one arm while rocking the baby with the other, and even having to sing lullabies mid-presentation when the baby cried at the most inconvenient time. Both mothers laughed so hard that tears welled up in the corners of their eyes, occasionally chiming in with their own remarks or teasing him about his multitasking skills. Tu Tieu listened from the passenger seat, a smile playing on her lips, shaking her head in disbelief and pride. Every word Uri spoke reminded her of the countless nights he had spent balancing ambition and fatherhood. Each challenge met with resilience and determination. The car rolled steadily along the winding roads, and Uri's stories shifted to quieter moments too. How he had celebrated small victories, like signing the first contract or finishing a prototype, and how each little success kept him motivated. Tu Tieu felt her chest tighten slightly, pride and love mixing with relief that he was slowly achieving his dreams despite all obstacles. The trip, though short, was already shaping into more than just a vacation. It was a celebration of survival, love, and teamwork. Halfway to their destination, the baby stirred. His tiny cries echoed through the car, signaling it was time for milk. Immediately, the cabin transformed into a well-coordinated team in motion. Tu Tieu prepared the bottle, while Uri skillfully pulled the car to the side of the road. Meanwhile, Lan handed towels, and Yuri's mother positioned herself to shield the baby from the sun. In a matter of minutes, the crisis was resolved. Silence settled again over the car, accompanied by a shared sense of relief and subtle chuckles at how quickly they had all jumped into action. As they approached the coast, the view opened into a breathtaking panorama. A clear blue sea stretching endlessly, sunlight glimmering on the gentle waves, and golden sand meeting the horizon. Uri stepped out first, holding the baby close, inhaling the salty air deeply. The tension of the past few weeks seemed to melt with every wave, the heaviness in his chest giving way to calm. Tu Tieu followed, stretching her arms slightly and taking a long, cleansing breath, feeling as though the month-long fatigue had finally been reset. The two mothers, energized by the new environment, immediately transformed into eager photographers, directing poses and capturing candid shots of the baby, the parents, and the surrounding scenery. Tilt his head slightly. Uri, give me a natural smile. Tu Tieu, come closer, they called in turn. The couple laughed, finding a surprising warmth and comfort in watching their mothers express such joy and attention. Each snap of the camera was not just a photo, but a memory captured. The baby's first trip, the laughter echoing through the car, the simple joy of being together. By the time the afternoon sun reached its highest point, the family had settled on the soft golden sand, the rhythmic sound of waves providing a soothing backdrop. Uri gently placed the baby into the portable crib they had brought along, letting the little one sway gently to the cadence of the surf. Tu Tieu sank down beside him, brushing the sand from her hands, feeling the warmth of the sun on her face, and letting herself truly relax for the first time in weeks. The tension of startup deadlines, early mornings, late nights, and constant childcare seemed to melt away in the salty breeze. Ms. Lan and Uri's mother were already engaged in their own version of family entertainment. With their cameras and smartphones in hand, they alternated between capturing candid moments and orchestrating playful photo poses. Uri, bend your knees a little, smile naturally. Tu Tieu, hold the baby closer to you, Ms. Lan instructed in a cheerful voice, while Uri's mother chimed in. Tilt the baby's head that way and make sure the sun hits his face. The parents laughed, complying with good humor, marveling at how even small squabbles over posing or camera angles could create a lively, affectionate atmosphere. The baby, meanwhile, cooed happily, clearly enjoying the attention, tiny hands waving and grasping at the passing breeze. As the sun inched lower toward the horizon, Uri set up a small portable grill they had brought for a light barbecue. The scent of sizzling food mingled with the salty air, a reminder of the simple joys of being together. Tu Tieu arranged the picnic blanket, laying out small plates and utensils, while Ms. Lan and Uri's mother alternated between helping and debating who would hold the baby during the meal. Every so often, the mothers would make gentle comments, comparing the baby's features. Look at his eyes. They're definitely yours, Uri. No, the shape of his mouth? That's definitely Tu Tieu's side. I think he takes after my side more than yours. Nonsense. He has my cheekbones, see? The playful banter drew laughter from the parents, their hearts swelling at the small but precious moments of joy that defined their family. Even the baby seemed to sense the light-hearted mood, letting out tiny giggles that made everyone around him smile. Uri took a moment to speak with Tu Tieu quietly, sharing some reflections about the past few weeks. You know, I never imagined I'd be running a startup and juggling everything else at the same time. There were days I thought I'd never finish a task without the baby crying in the background. Tu Tieu reached for his hand, squeezing it gently. But look at us now. We're here, together, breathing. That's what matters. The work will keep coming, but these moments don't wait. The mothers overheard snippets of the conversation and smiled knowingly. Despite their minor disagreements over luggage, baby care, or photography angles, they were quietly proud of the family they had helped nurture. Their previous tensions were irrelevant in the presence of shared laughter, sun, and sea. As the barbecue continued, Uri shared his vision for the future of his company. He spoke about securing new partnerships, refining products, and creating a team he could trust. Tu Tieu, in turn, spoke about her own small ambitions, new recipes for their jackfruit venture, ideas for community engagement, and ways to make their home life smoother while still supporting Uri's startup. The exchange of ideas felt effortless, natural, and full of warmth. Even the mothers joined in occasionally, offering advice or suggestions, their voices overlapping in a lively but non-confrontational way. After the meal, the family walked along the shoreline. The baby, now awake and alert, reached out for the foamy water lapping at his tiny feet. Uri held him carefully while Tu Tieu walked alongside, their hands intertwined. The mothers walked a few steps behind, chatting quietly, sometimes laughing at the baby's excited squeals or pointing out seashells along the sand. The sunlight reflected on the water, scattering glimmers that mirrored the lightness of the family's mood. Even small hiccups, like the baby dropping a toy into the water or sand getting into a snack container, were met with laughter rather than frustration. Ms. Lan quickly retrieved the toy, while Yuri's mother scooped sand from the blanket with exaggerated care, making exaggerated faces that drew laughter from everyone, including the baby. These little moments, trivial in isolation, layered together to form the narrative of a family learning to balance responsibility, joy, and love in tandem. As the afternoon faded into evening, the sky painted itself in pastel hues of orange, pink, and lavender. The family gathered their belongings and settled near the edge of the beach to watch the sun dip beneath the horizon. Uri held the baby, whispering soft words into his ear, while Tu Tieu rested her head on his shoulder. Miss Lan and Yuri's mother took turns capturing the final moments of the day with their cameras, giggling at each other when one thought the other's angle wasn't flattering enough. Their playful competitiveness, now softened and affectionate, underscored the closeness that had formed among all four adults. Tu Tieu reflected on the day's journey, appreciating not only the brief escape, but also the underlying lessons it represented. The trip wasn't luxurious. There were no grand resorts or extravagant meals. Yet the simplicity, the laughter, and the shared attention toward their child had produced something more meaningful than any lavish vacation could. In the gentle chaos of caregiving, planning, and caring for one another, they had discovered the subtle art of balance between work and rest, duty and delight, responsibility and play. The baby, tired from the sun and excitement, had finally fallen asleep in Yuri's arms. The family lingered a while longer, letting the waves and the wind do their work, soothing minds and spirits alike. They shared quiet smiles, the kind that pass between people who have endured hardship together and emerged stronger, more connected, and more appreciative of each other's efforts. As the sky darkened, the family packed up their belongings, not rushing, savoring the final moments of peace. They walked back toward the car, the baby now wrapped snugly in a blanket, two grandmothers offering soft words of reassurance and guidance. Laughter occasionally punctuated their steps as Ms. Lan nudged Yuri's mother playfully, commenting on the baby's supposed resemblance to her side of the family, and Yuri's mother shot back a gentle teasing retort. Tu Tieu and Uri exchanged amused glances, silently acknowledging the unique warmth of their family dynamic. Even as they drove back home, the memory of the beach, the scent of salt water, the sound of laughter, and the feeling of being together remained vivid. This short trip had provided more than rest. It had been a reaffirmation of connection. Amid the pressures of life, the chaos of work, and the endless demands of a newborn, they had carved out space to breathe, to enjoy, and to reaffirm the strength of their love. By the time they returned to the wooden house in the bamboo forest, night had fallen, and the stars peeked through the leaves. The baby slept soundly, exhausted from new experiences. Uri and Tu Tieu unpacked quietly, sharing soft smiles and reflective glances. Ms. Lan and Yuri's mother, despite minor playful quarrels throughout the day, were content, knowing they had contributed to a memory that would last a lifetime. The house was quiet now, but the warmth, love, and sense of togetherness lingered. In the weeks that followed, whenever the family recounted this trip, laughter and gentle teasing accompanied each retelling. The little disagreements, the frantic moments of baby care, The storytelling in the car and the soft golden sunset at the beach became treasured memories. For Uri and Tu Tieu, it was more than a vacation. It was a reminder that despite all challenges, family could create spaces of calm, joy, and connection, even amid life's busiest storms. The simple, unpretentious escape had healed tired spirits, strengthened bonds, and infused hope, reminding them that love, patience, and shared experiences formed the foundation of everything that mattered most. After weeks of non-stop childcare, selling jackfruit, and Yuri's intense startup schedule, Tu Tieu's small family finally takes a short beach getaway to relax. It's the baby's first trip away from home, and the morning is filled with the usual hustle. Tu Tieu folding clothes while soothing the baby, Uri searching for his missing power bank, and both grandmothers juggling care and packing. Light-hearted squabbles over luggage and constant attention to the baby keep everyone on their toes, but laughter and warmth dominate. Along the way, Uri shares stories from his challenging early startup days, making everyone laugh and feel closer. At the beach, the family enjoys scenic views, playful photography sessions, and a barbecue, all while bonding deeply. Amid chaos, humor, and love, the trip becomes a heartwarming reminder of family connection, resilience, and the small joys of life.